Hey everyone, I'm Corey with Nashville Computer. I'm the project manager, and today I've got John Rawls and Josh McCrory with me, and we're just gonna talk about some basic things for Teams. This is gonna be our Teams 101 training for NCI. And first thing we're gonna start with, I've already got our screen share up, and we're just gonna be looking over just the direct chat function of Teams first, and I'm gonna hand that over to John Rawls to talk about, and I'll be driving. Go for it, John.
Hey, I'm John Rawls, one of the help desk engineers with Nashville Computer. First thing we're going to go over is the direct chat function of Teams. If you've ever used anything like Slack, Discord, or any of the other chat applications, then it should be pretty straightforward. The direct chat icon is off to the left in Teams, and it's where you can chat with individuals that are internally set up in Teams within your 365 tenant. Here you can send direct messages to people and review recent conversations you've had with uh, different individuals. You can also pin conversations with the people that you may talk with more frequently, so you can find them a lot faster and easier when you need to get to them. Uh, the chat box is for private conversations with other people in your team's organization. And the timestamps is a feature where you can reference each message and see the exact time and date something was sent. Um, and some of the chat box functions that we'll go over are the format button. It's the first one, and it looks similar to one you might see in Word, where you can pick some simple formatting options for the text as well as insert your hyperlinks and other basic chat functions. You have some delivery options you can set there where you can mark messages as important or urgent. It'll send the message and it'll cause a recipient to be notified every 2 minutes for the next 20 minutes until they actually look at the notification. You have the attach function, which will let you upload files from your computer or files you've stored in OneDrive and send them in a message. You can also drag and drop files into Teams to attach files from your computer. And then next to that, you have your emoji, GIFs, and stickers if you just want to send, little fun things in your message to people that you're talking to. The one after that is to schedule a meeting. It looks similar to like maybe a calendar. You could schedule meetings from Teams with that button, and it'll default to the person that you're talking to. The meeting invite will go to that person's Outlook, and they'll accept it just like they would a lot of your other invitations. And it'll have a Teams join link in it. The next option is the video call option if you just want to click that and do your video call with the person that you're talking to. And then you have the audio call, which looks like the phone handset, which it's same as video call, just without the video. And if you're in the audio call or the video, you can actually toggle to whichever one you want to go to if you want to switch between them. The next one you have the little box with the arrow is a screen sharing option, and it could be used during an already ongoing call, or if you wanted to just share the screen and not conduct a voice call, you could just hit the screen sharing and it will share the screen session only. Um, this way you could still just talk over text while seeing what they want you to see on the screen. You can share your screen in an already started call if you want to as well. Similar to if you've ever seen screen shares in like Zoom or another one of those.
Mm-hmm.
You can add members. If you look at the button, it looks like two little people with a plus sign. You can add people into the conversation that you're already having. Um, then you'll just hit that button and you'll get some options on how you want to add the person. You can specify to not include your chat history, or you can include the chat history from a certain number of days ago, or you can include all of it into the conversation. It's really up to how you want to choose that. The next thing is going to be your status setting. And you'll see the little dot right now. It's going to be red because we're actually in a meeting. In Teams, you could change your status manually, or it'll automatically change based on certain conditions. One of the statuses available will show a green check mark and that you currently don't have any active meetings going on during that time frame. Busy means your status will automatically change, or I'm sorry, your status will automatically change to busy while you have any set meetings on your calendar during that time frame. Do not disturb, so you don't receive any Teams alerts. You can also set individuals as exceptions. You can set exceptions by clicking your profile icon at the top right, and then you'll click Manage Account, Privacy, and then Manage Priority Access. From there, you can add individuals who you want to receive notifications, even when Do Not Disturb is turned on. The Be Right Back status is a quick way to let someone know that you'll be back to your computer soon. The Appear Away option, you can set manually, or if you're idle from your computer for 10 minutes, it will automatically change to away. Appear Offline can be used to change your status to just make it look like you're offline. Otherwise, the status will automatically become this when you have Teams fully closed on all of your devices.
All right, the next section we're going to talk about is in the Teams section itself. In Microsoft Teams, you're going to have teams and you're also going to have your channels. The teams are more for just setting the the groups of people that need to be in that team, while the channels are more of just the containers for organizing specific topics that everyone would end up talking about. Um, in our case, NCI has our tech channel, and the tech channel just specifically consists of ongoing projects that NCI and the engineers are working on globally for all our clients. The first things we have in the Teams Train channel is just conversations, pretty similar to how it was in the direct chat. Um, you can start a conversation just by using the new conversation button at the bottom. And in addition, from here, after new conversations have been started, you can either start another chain of conversations similar to this, or you can respond in existing conversation chains by just going here, hitting reply, and just putting this. And let's see. Another thing you can do in the conversation chains, especially if you need to just ping someone specifically, you can also reply and you'll just do an at, and you can at someone individually like John, or you can also at the channel itself to ping everyone in that channel. Or if you just wanted to ping everyone in your team's organization, you could actually ping the entire team's group organization name, and that would just ping everyone who's in this channel across the board. Along with that, you also have channel notifications that you can configure. You can configure these on the individual channels right here by just hitting the three dots, going to channel notifications, and they'll have a couple of options here that you can pick from, or you can actually just hit custom and you can specify what you want a little more directly. You can also, in your channels, we've got just a test company meeting one here. You can also just set up your meetings from these channels too. It's going to be up at the top right, but what you can actually do is just hit the drop down, schedule a meeting, and can just actually set it here. It'll just base it on that company meeting channel. You can set it up for recurring or whatever time frames you want. You can add your required attendees, but for just this setup and specifying it on this channel, it's just going to be for that company meeting channel. Um, if you were going to end up scheduling a larger meeting, the current maximum that Teams is allowed right now by Microsoft for this level of a meeting is currently looking at about 250 per Microsoft. If you were going to schedule a larger meeting, you want to keep in mind that each device that you connect with on that meeting will count as a use towards that 250. So if you were trying to dial in with your desktop, phone, and also tablet for some reason, that would end up counting as three. While you're in a Teams meeting, only one person can share their screen at a time, similar to any other chat apps, such as us, using Zoom to record this right now. You can only have one person sharing the screen at a time, so that's the same thing there. Um, there is also you can also record meetings in Teams, and I've got a test meeting set up right here. Um, and I'll do this one real quick. There's not really anybody in it, but we'll just join it real quick. And just so I can kind of show you where it's at, because the button doesn't really show up till you get in there. So here's just a meeting with myself in it, and you can hit more actions and just go to start recording. And you can either stop it whenever you want to, or once you just leave and close it out, it will actually save that recording to OneDrive within this Teams infrastructure, so you can download it or play it back later if you needed to, and that'll all be stored in cloud infrastructure for Microsoft. And that's about all for the Teams section, and I'm gonna hand it over to Josh to start talking about the calendar stuff.
Hello, I'm Josh McCroy, one of the field engineers with Nashville Computer. The next button we have out to the left is the calendar section. The calendar in Teams is synced up with your personal Outlook calendar for your Office 365 account. So if you put in something on your Teams calendar, it will also show up in your Outlook, and same goes for the reverse. A difference with the Teams calendar is that when you set up a new meeting, you have the option built in to add individuals into it and make it a Teams meeting. This will send invites to the attendees' Outlooks as well as a link to join the Teams meeting. You can also do this using the Teams plugin in Outlook. This plugin is automatically installed with Teams if you're on Outlook 2013 or newer, or have the desktop apps installed via Office 365. The next section is the file sharing. File sharing was a topic touched on in direct messages with being able to upload files to other individuals. But in Teams channels, you can also upload files centrally for everyone to be able to work on. You can either drag and drop files into a chat, or to upload them, hit the attach button in a chat, or go to the Files tab across the top of Teams channel and drag and drop files into that area. This will upload them centrally for everyone to see. You can upload Word and Excel documents in the section for multiple people to work on. These changes are real time, and multiple people can be working on that same document simultaneously. This works by Teams utilizing Word and Excel online versions. You can also hit the Open and Desktop App button to edit from your machine, but will more likely not see real-time changes. Word tracking changes. Since you may end up having a lot of people making changes on these documents, you may also want to track those changes. The online version still have the ability to do this. In Word, you just go to the Review tab and click Track Changes to set the settings the way you want them on the document. For Excel tracking, you can also go to the Review tab and just click Show Changes.
The next thing we're going to talk about is apps for Teams. So in Teams, there is an apps button you can find down at the bottom left, and there's a lot of different apps that you can actually install for your teams to utilize across the board. One that we in particularly like to use is Task by Planner and To Do. We can actually come over here into Teams, and I should have a sample set up wherever I put it. We'll just make one. So, actually, no, that's where it was, in file sharing. So we end up using this one internally a lot for project planning. You can just put tasks here, just add them in, and can actually assign some specific people to them, send them notifications, progress, things like that. There's a lot of them to pick from. Got one for YouTube, weather, there's just a lot of different apps you can pick from. Just things you might already be using in your organization, but you can just work with centrally in Teams. And aside from that, that's really the big overview for Teams. Only other thing we wanted to talk about is just all the supported platforms Teams is currently offered on. Right now, Teams is supported on Windows, Mac, Linux if you're using it as your daily driver, and they also have a web version, and they also have mobile versions for both Android and iOS. But that's about all we got. That's all the information we wanted to give you guys today, and hope this was a good basic Teams 101 training. And if you have any questions, always feel free to let us know. Y'all have a good one.